At the beginning of the story, suddenly something happens in the world that wipes out the entire human population. And it happens so suddenly that people die wherever they are sitting. But in a small town in America, I survive. And I start feeling that now I am the last human left on Earth. Even in this loneliness, I create a calm routine for my life. I live in the same library where I used to work before. And even today, I take complete care of the books, arranging them properly so that they do not get damaged. For food, I bring supplies from the supermarket, and I have also started fishing because humans and animals have all disappeared, but fish are still alive, and they are what keep me alive. I had created a complete system for cleaning the houses in the city. Every day I would choose one house and go inside covering my face so that I could avoid any kind of dirt or disease. Whatever useful things I found, like batteries or petrol for my truck, I collected everything, and I brought all the books found in the house to my library. If I found a dead body anywhere, I would wrap it in its own sheet and bury it with the help of an excavator. After finishing the work, I would make an X mark in front of that house and also mark it on my map so that I would not have to go there again. One night, after watching an old movie as usual, I went to sleep, when suddenly I was startled by the sound of a loud explosion outside. When I looked outside, fireworks were bursting in the sky, and at that very moment, I realized that maybe someone else besides me was alive in this world. The next morning, I went toward the city to investigate this, and there I found a crashed car. The girl driving the car, Grace, was lying unconscious because she had been drinking alcohol. Looking inside the car, I understood that she was the one who had set off the fireworks, and she also had a gun with her. After some time, Grace regains consciousness in an unfamiliar house with a bandage tied around her head. After vomiting, she tries to open the door, but the door is locked, and I stand outside and question her. Grace tells me that she has not seen any other human, and that she herself does not know how she survived. Hearing her words, my own experience comes back to me, because something similar had happened to me as well. She also tells me that she found the gun on the road, and had kept it only for her safety. I did not want Grace to stay there, so I had prepared a car for her. I told her that I would open the door only if she promised to come out after counting to 100. But Grace broke the promise, and opened the door immediately, which made me panic and run out of the house. I gave her the car keys and left from there without listening to anything she said, while she kept repeatedly saying that she did not want to go alone and wanted to stay there. But Grace did not give up. She kept following me continuously and kept saying that she could help me with cleaning because two people working together could finish the work faster and then they could head towards some other city. But for me, there was no other city. I clearly refused and said that I did not need any helper, yet she kept walking alongside me. Her presence brought a strange brightness and noise into my silent and frozen life that had been missing for a long time. I shared food with her, but made her sit at a separate table and avoided unnecessary conversations. I also refused to discuss how the world ended or the reasons behind it, and one evening I even silenced her by saying that even when I lived among people before, I was still lonely from the inside. When Grace saw that I was not going to agree under any circumstances, she packed her things and got ready to leave. As soon as she sat in the car, I realized that I did not want to let her go like this, and I went myself and said that I had changed my decision and that she could stay here for a few days on a trial basis. After this, Grace started going with me to clean houses and slowly began to understand my entire system. That was when she found out that I remembered the name of every dead person in the city and also knew who had borrowed which book or whose late fees were still pending. When it came time to bury the bodies, Grace felt that I was very stone-hearted because I never said anything in memory of the dead. She told me that whenever she found a body on the road, she would hold her breath for 10 seconds in their honor. Just to keep her happy, I started doing the same along with her. Sometimes I would say that I missed the earlier piece, especially when Grace kept talking continuously while shopping or played very loud songs in the truck, but even then I never stopped her. One day when Grace saw that I was not in the library, she went into my office. There she saw that I had carefully preserved the photographs taken from the houses in files, arranged in a strange but very orderly system. Seeing all this, she got scared and found it all a bit disturbing. To calm her mind, she left from there and went out cycling. Just then, she heard sounds coming from inside a house, and when she went inside, she was shocked because there was a dog alive there. She brought it with her to the library so she could keep it. I was not happy about this, but I still suggested a few names for formality, and in the end, we started calling it simply Dog. Slowly, Grace and I started getting closer to each other. We began eating at the same table, and she shared stories from her childhood, like how she once had 2 goldfish, but she still avoided tying her hair up because she did not want me to see the mysterious mark on the back of her neck. A few days later, we saw that the dog was tearing a book, and seeing this, I got irritated. I told Grace to clean up and took the dog outside myself, but then the dog bit me. Grace immediately cleaned my wound and stitched it, but after that incident, anger toward the dog settled inside me. On top of that, Grace's excessive affection for it started bothering me even more, and my silent resentment slowly kept growing. The next morning, when Grace woke up, the dog was missing, and she could not understand how this had happened because because she had tied it up. When we searched for it throughout the city, I finally admitted that I had untied it to let it urinate. My words clearly sounded like an excuse, and Grace immediately understood that I had deliberately let the dog run away. She became furious, and when we returned to the library, she drank alcohol and threw out all my photo files. Grace accused me of seeing people not as humans, but merely as objects. She reminded me that even in my old life, I had already been a bitter and lonely person, while she had been happy, and in this catastrophe, she had lost everything. Hearing all this, I broke down and went to sleep with heavy guilt. The next day, as an apology, I showed her my secret greenhouse and allowed her to take care of the plants. Along with that, by giving her permission to clean houses alone, I also made it clear that her trial period was over, and now we were equal partners. Now we both started working equally, and Grace also began helping me with cooking, yet she still kept hiding the mark on the back of her neck from me. One day, she found a pair of walkie-talkies in a house, through which we could talk to each other even while staying apart. Around the same time, one day Grace found a house that was not marked on my map at all, and as soon as she went inside, I angrily reached there and clearly told her that she should not come there. I did not want to clean this house, and then Grace understood that this was my old home. When Grace asked me the reason, I told her about the first deaths I had seen, and they were small school children. Finally, I broke down, and with Grace's help, I agreed to clean my own house. Burying my own mother was far more difficult than burying an unknown body, and this time, while saying goodbye, I held my breath for more than 10 seconds. This moment was the heaviest for me, because for the first time, I had fully felt my pain. When the cleaning of my house was finished, Grace admitted that she had hidden something from me, but instead of telling me, she kissed me to put me to sleep. The next morning, when I opened my eyes, I found myself on the bed of the same house where I had brought Grace for the first time. Picking up my gun that was kept there, when I went downstairs, I was stunned to see Grace having breakfast with two other people, Violet and Patrick. She was calling them her mom and dad, but there was no real conviction in her voice. Strangely cheerful, they started explaining to me that in California, thousands of people were living together by forming a community. They said that I never came to know about this because I never left my city to look for others. Otherwise, I would have seen their signs on the roads. Hearing this, anger filled inside me, because Grace had made me feel that we were the last humans left in the world. Without listening to anything, I ran out of the house, and Grace kept following me, trying to explain that they were not her real parents, but two strangers whom the community had chosen as her new parents. She also started saying that the two of them were not even husband and wife, and that she felt they were strange and crazy, but I did not care about any of it. I left Grace there and went to the library. Meanwhile, Violet told Grace that now she would have to go with them to California because she could no longer live alone and they had to become a real family. Before leaving, Patrick came to me at the library and invited me to come along as well, saying that people like me were badly needed there. He told me that a team of doctors had discovered new ways to manage and change the human mind, but I had no interest in these things. While leaving, he wrote his address in a book and left it there so that if I ever changed my mind, I could reach there. After some time, Grace left the city crying, along with Violet and Patrick. While leaving, she kept looking at the marks on the necks of her new parents and silently wondered what was going to happen to her next in California. I tried to return to my old routine, but now the same loneliness and silence started hurting me from inside. The quiet that once gave comfort had now become a burden, and in anger, I started throwing things at my old house to vent my pain. All night, I kept seeing dreams of Grace, and as soon as morning came, I took out all the photo files. I kept looking at each face, and everything came back to me. Their names, their work, their nature, and which books they liked. That was when I understood that I had never truly been alone, and now living like this was not possible for me. Restless, I started searching inside the library for the address that Patrick had left, and this time, for the first time, I kept throwing books here and there without caring about them. The journey to California was very long and difficult, but I did not give up. Whenever I found the road blocked or the vehicle ran out of petrol, I found another vehicle and kept moving forward. Finally, when I reached California, seeing the lights of a living, moving city dazzled my eyes. Still, I composed myself and somehow managed to find Grace's house. Patrick and Violet were nearby, so I waited for night to fall. When everyone fell asleep, I quietly entered the house with my gun. As soon as I found Grace's room, I was frozen because the sight there was extremely horrifying. Grace was connected to a machine that was erasing destruction and the trauma of losing her family from her mind. In fact, this was done to every person in that community so that they could forget the past and be forcibly happy. Without wasting any time, I apologized for my behavior and disconnected Grace from that machine. The good thing was that she could still walk. We were just about to leave when Patrick appeared in our path. He tried to stop us and started explaining that their system was the best possible way. Just then, Grace snatched the gun from me and shot Patrick right there. At that very moment, Violet arrived there, but there was no expression of any kind on her face. She looked at the dead body as if milk had spilled on the floor, and without any sorrow or panic, started looking for cleaning supplies to wipe the blood. That was when I realized that the machine had drained all emotions from inside her, and this sight shook me to my core. Grace quietly picked up her goldfish and left from there with me. As we walked away from that place, we ignored the people walking on the road who were living their lives with artificial happiness, as if they remembered nothing at all. When we reached the road, Grace told me that she felt no regret for shooting Patrick. There was not fear in her eyes, but peace. I reassured her and said that everything was fine, and then the two of us set off toward our next destination, where we were going to start a new life. A life where there would be pain, but memories would remain alive, and where we would live not with artificial happiness, but with the truth.